Say, quote the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, and a little child shall lead them. Isaiah Lord Thomas, the greatest small guard in the history of the NBA. Game time, long ball time, Daily Coppock time. How you doing, everybody? Isaiah remind you of anybody here in the Windy City? Of course he does. Number one, D. Rose, the pride and joy of Simeon and the Chicago Bulls, Derrick Rose. You know what's cool to me about Derrick Rose? Hey, he's a prolific basketball player. He's the reigning NBA MVP, but he's a guy who also would have been a perfect fit in the NBA 25 years ago. Now you and I and the congregation go back in time. Think about the NBA around 1989 and 1990. For example, think about those bad boys, intimidate and dominate up in Detroit. Chuck Daly's Detroit Pistons, led by Isaiah Thomas, the heart and soul of the bad boys, along with nasty Bill Laimbeer, the defensive prowess of Joe Dumars, Vinnie Johnson, John Sally. You know what? That was an NBA where the hand check was still employed on a regular basis, where players were allowed to use their elbows as razor blades. It's also an NBA that would have been perfect for Derrick Rose. What am I talking about? Because of his choir boy look, Derrick Rose, 6'3", 195 pounds, looks like a school kid, but the fact of the matter is, he's got the upper body of a linebacker. You know what I'd pay right now to kill? I would pay to be able to bridge the hands of time and have Joe Dumars, the guy who used to check Michael Jordan, the guy who was the high priest of the Jordan rules, go to work against Derrick Rose, because what a matchup that would be. Derrick Rose, you are a transcendent ball player. You could go back in time. You could play when the NBA was a game of muscle instead of a game of finesse today, where if you on a rival ball player, you're whistle. You know what? I want to make one other point about my man, Derrick Rose. I hope you understand this. He's a 23-year-old kid. I know he just signed a contract which gives him enough money to choose one, the state of Oklahoma or the state of New Mexico. But don't ask Derrick Rose to be anything more than he is. Don't ask him to be a philosopher. Don't ask him to be a scientist. Don't ask him to be a neurosurgeon. Don't ask him to be an expert on urban affairs. Appreciate what he is. Derrick Rose is an entertainer. Chi-Town, sit back and relax, because you heard it from the Reverend Coppock. Derrick Rose is still 4 years away from his prime. 4 years away from his prime. In 4 years, he'll make LeBron James seem like an afterthought. This has been the Daily Coppock. Hosanna.